Great to see you all here in Amsterdam. My name is Sandra Persing, Vice President of Developer and Ecosystem Marketing at Circle. And I believe most folks here are familiar with Circle, but in case there are some newcomers to our industry, first of all, welcome. Circle is a financial technologies company with a mission to raise the global economic prosperity through the frictionless exchange of value. And how we achieve this is to grow the largest and most widely used stablecoin network in the world, USDC, an open source, permissionless protocol that empowers developers and builders on any chain, and hopefully inspiring many of the Solana builders here today specifically to create those applications and services that essentially makes our lives better. I'm so pleased to be here and have this opportunity on stage, not to just make an announcement, but really to celebrate the achievement of building together with the Solana community this year. But actually, if we wind back a month prior, if we wind back a few months prior in 2022, we really took a leap forward at one of our own Circle events, Converge in San Francisco, back in September, installing Solana Pay as the experience that all attendees at the event would go through Get Their Swag and merch. And here's this tweet from Mountain Pay that actually shows that the future of payment is actually here today, that on-chain payment works in real time with no failures on site. And over 1,000 checkouts happening, completed. It's the best way to actually convince those who might have been skeptics to say, this is the future of payments. And then we went big in 2023, and we committed to partner on 10 global Solana hacker houses that started in Istanbul with 1,000 developers just showing up, and more than half of them ready to build applications and learn more about how they can network and get integrated in the Web3 space. And this trend continued for the following 9 events, so 10 total, on 6 continents. And this accumulated to the impact of the number, 10,000 developers that we met, 10,000 minutes that we spent together on workshops, on office hours, submitting reviews and celebrating together. And a huge shout out to the Solana Hacker House team for giving us this structure and making this possible together. And then we saw on hand successful projects running on Solana right at the Hacker House, powered by USDC, bringing in real sales and numbers, 50,000 USDC spent through the Hacker House for coffee and merch. We love the passion and support from Decaf, a huge shout out to that team, doing the work and showing the proof of future of payments, again, is here today. It's incredible to witness Solana's exceptionally high throughput and rapid settlement speed with USDC, because again, this all works together to elevate the Web3 experience, to be on par with traditional card payment methods, but without the burden, the headache, the fees from the traditional system. We have big business names like Visa and Shopify here, who have 4.2 billion card users and 4 million stores online, offering this experience on-chain as an option to their customers to receive payments and make settlements, and drive the adoption to the masses, verifying that this tech actually works to, again, bring the future of payments to everyone today, and most importantly, not building just tech for tech's sake, but to improve the days of everyday lives of everyone. Now, I've shared a recap of just being so excited about how we spent this year together at the Hacker House, collaborating, and again, building community, empowering developers to build their apps and services. I want to talk about another cool, exciting use case here with my colleague, Allison, to talk about another permissionless protocol utility called cross-chain transfer protocol, which, by the way, again, adopted and being already utilized by another project, Drift. So Allison, I'll turn it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you, Sandra. Thank you all for coming out this morning, especially in all the rain and the wind. I hope no one blew away out there. Today I'm going to be showing you all our cross-chain transfer protocol, which, as Sandra mentioned, is a permissionless protocol that anyone in the ecosystems that it supports can utilize to bridge USDC across chains. And the exciting thing for today is that I'm going to show you it happening over Solana DevNet. So we are bringing CCTP to Solana, hopefully by the end of the year, but coming very soon. So before I go into the actual demo of CCTP, I'll just give you kind of a quick overview of how CCTP works if anyone here is not familiar. So with a traditional bridge, when you're bridging assets from one chain to another, typically what you have to do is you have to lock up your assets on that underlying chain in order to mint a bridged version of that asset on the destination chain. With CCTP, we're taking away a lot of those security risks that come with doing that, and we're also decreasing the time it takes to typically unbridge assets from some chains by, instead of locking up those assets, actually just burning them on the source chain and reminting them on the destination chain instead. The way that we do that is through the use of 2 smart contracts and then a Circle attestation service, which basically sits in the middle of this operation. So on the source chain, we have what we call our token messenger contract. That's the contract we use once the user has authorized this kind of cross-chain transfer to occur. The USDC is basically burned through that contract, the deposit for burn function. Once the USDC is burned, basically Circle's attestation service will confirm that the USDC has indeed been burned. For those of you who know USDC, you'll know that's really important because we can't mint new USDC unless we know the existing USDC has already been burned. That's the promise of USDC. It's always going to be 1-to-1 for the amount of US dollar that we have in our reserves. So once our attestation service, which is just a REST API, confirms that that has indeed been burned, you'll be able to remint that USDC to the destination address on the destination chain. And so you can actually mint and burn, and it doesn't necessarily even have to be just the user themselves burning their USDC and sending it to themselves on the destination chain. You could use this for something like a cross-chain payment or a cross-chain deposit into a DeFi protocol. So there are a lot of different opportunities for this. So now I'll go ahead and hop into the exciting part, which is the actual demo of CCTP. I was really hoping to do a live demo. The demo gods are not smiling on me this morning, so we're going to have to settle for a video. Probably everyone in the audience has been there at some point. So I'm going to talk through what's happening on the screen here as we go through it. But this is basically a sample application that we've developed just to show off how this cross-chain transfer is working. So in this example, we're going to be burning USDC on Avalanche, and we're going to be reminting it on Solana. So I'll go ahead and play this. So obviously, the first step, we're going to connect our wallets. So I'm going to use MetaMask and Phantom in this example, MetaMask for my Avalanche address and Phantom for my Solana one. So I'm going to enter the amount that I want to actually send, and I'll go ahead and initially just approve basically a spending cap to say, yes, I'm going to authorize this application to move 10 USDC. And then I'm going to approve one more time here to actually initiate the transfer to our token messenger contract, which is then going to burn the USDC. So now you can see here, we're in the process of burning the USDC. Depending on the blockchain that you're using, the times are going to vary here, but for something like an Avalanche to a Solana, we'd expect this to be very, very quick. So probably a few seconds, and then we'll be able to see that USDC officially burned. What's happening in the background here is we're trying to fetch that attestation service. And now you can see here, we have officially fetched that. I'll just pause for 1 second. So we've now fetched that attestation message from Circle's API. And so we have that confirmation from Circle that yes, the USDC has been burned on the source chain. We're ready to remint it on that destination chain. And that's what's happening here. So we're going to push this receive button. And this is basically just confirming that we want to remint that USDC on the destination chain. And you can see that part of the operation is very, very quick, thanks to the power of Solana. And so when we're receiving that USDC, it takes a fraction of a second for us to remint that into the Phantom wallet. You can see here now that the transfer has been completed. So just like that, within about 10 seconds overall, we were able to burn USDC on Avalanche and move it over to the Solana blockchain. Now, again, for this example that I provided here, I decided to transfer it to my own addresses. But for a user who maybe wants to buy an NFT from a Solana marketplace, but they only have USDC on Ethereum, you could set this up for them so that they can do a seamless transfer without even ever really having to know that they're bridging their assets. So we're really trying to take away a lot of that complexity from the user so that no matter where they have USDC, they can interact with any ecosystem. So that's my demo. Would love for any of you, if you have any questions, we do have a booth at the developer stage. Please come up and ask. I'm excited to show this all to you. Maybe it'll be working in a live capacity later today, but who knows? So yeah, that's my portion. I'll send it back to Sandra.
Great, thank you so much, Allison. That is really exciting to see. And again, it's the power of Solana that just makes this transaction happen so fast, seamlessly. And of course, with almost zero fees, and this is so important, again, to the developer community who are looking for these solutions to actually make sure that their applications run smoothly and have access to liquidity. So before we leave the stage and before we actually close out the 2023 year, one more announcement. I know everybody's very excited about Breakpoint happening in Singapore next year, yay. We like to also say that we'll be in Asia one last time, so 10+1, 11 hacker houses together, Circle and Solana, November 14th through 17th. So just making a plug to see you all there in Hong Kong for our last 2023 Hacker House, and looking forward to our 2024 season together. Thanks so much.
Thank you all.